Hello, welcome, fellow humans. Do you have a robot that helped you today with your work? No, not yet. So, I would like to welcome you to RPA Fridays, another session that will bring you closer to robotic process automation, RPA, and show you something new. So, thank you for coming, and let's start. RPA Fridays, this session will be a live showcase of some RPA technology. We will have a task or problem to solve with me. And if you will have any questions during the session, during the webinar, you can type in chat and I will get to the questions later. So let's start it. Today's topic is Slack. For those who don't know what is Slack, Slack is a communication tool for teams, for collaboration. You can share files there, communicate with colleagues with channels and so on. So it's like a chat tool, collaboration tool, which is widely used. And I will today demonstrate some ways how you can interact, how your robot can interact with Slack. So this might be pretty interesting. So I will show you how to work with incoming webhooks in Slack, in the sense how the robot can actually send some information to Slack. We will take a look at how to configure a new Slack app, which is necessary to integrate the UiPath Slack activities, which we will test. And the final result of this today's session will be a robot, which will have an identity on Slack, and you can write to the robot a name of a city, and the robot will reply with the weather conditions in that city. It's a simple demonstration. You can feel about how to use it in your scenario for your needs. This is to show you the possibilities, and I want to say that I followed some of the documentation for this Slack activities, and I want to make it easier for you to start. So I made this video which is up to date to this versions. So let's start. Let's start with the first thing, and this is that I want to show you how this will go. So I have Slack somewhere over there. Okay, I put it on a different screen. I already did a couple of tests over there. So I have a channel here called Weather, and this is the channel where I want to do the interaction in future. I also have some other channels over there and some testing users already. So first, what I want to do to start from scratch to show you how to do it is to create a new user, invite the user, do an app on behalf of that user, because this will show up in next minutes why, and then create some UiPath workflow. So I already have some strange teammates here in my testing workplace. So I will click Add Teammates, and I have this cool tool, Temp Mail Ninja, where I created some temporary email, and I will invite this unexisting person to my team. So I'll send this. Okay, done. Lovely. And wait for this. Okay, that was pretty fast. So Roman Hruska invite you to work with him. Slack. Open email, and there is a lovely invitation for me and you, some friends, to join the team. So there are already some people. I will click join and create an account. So let's be Mr. I don't know, James, like my friend James Bot. Okay, this will be James Bot, and password. Okay, some randomly generated password, doesn't matter. No, thanks. Create an account. Once you create an account through this web browser, it will prompt you to open actually the application in Windows. I don't want to do it. I want to have one session running in the Windows app and one in the browser. So I click cancel and use this button, use Slack in your browser. And this will open one Slack in the browser and another Slack here. And I already have this James bot here. I can actually send him a message or something. So there will be two sessions for the demonstration, two sessions of Slack open. And this is me, Mr. James Bot, with the orange background. It's cool. So I'm different color than the others. This is the first step. So now in this browser, it's actually a private window of a browser for this purpose. I'm logged in as a Mr. James bot, like a James Bond almost. Okay, so what I want to do is to create a new app in Slack. This is necessary to perform the next steps. It's one of the many ways how to do things. So what I need is to actually go to https at api.slack apps/apps. Okay, it's like this URL. So here, even it's not really stated anywhere, I'm logged in with Mr. James bot. And Mr. James bot doesn't have any app, so Mr. James bot will go and create app. So now I'm working on the behalf of a robot user. This is like quite common thing, thing you can hear in RPA, which is account for a user that does not exist, but will act as our robot user. So will perform steps as the robot. So let's go back to this. So I want to create an app from scratch and give it some name. So let's say James Bot app, doesn't matter really, and pick this workspace that I want to develop the app. This is the only workspace I have, and I click create app. So now the app is created. It was not really complicated, as you can see, and I want to show you two ways how to communicate with Slack. First are incoming webhooks, which you can choose in the menu on the left. And in the menu, if I click at incoming webhooks, this will give me option to activate them. Sure, I will do it. And then give me some more option here. So webhooks works like this. You will create a webhook, which will, on behalf of the application this time, it can post a message in Slack. So I will show you how it works instead of talking too much. So I need to add a new webhook to workspace. So I click this, and it asks me what channel should be this webhook associated with. So let's say general, okay, general channel, and I will click allow. This creates some kind of pop-ups over there, so something's happening. It tells me that Mr. James bot added an integration to this channel, and voila, here's our webhook. So this is it. This is the URL for the HTTP requests. So let's try first small application with this. Let's try to use it using UiPath. So here's my UiPath. I already created a project. I don't have that's all I have here. One little file that I will show you later. But I want, for this purpose, create a new file where I will start from scratch. That will be called webhooks. Okay, it's just another file in the project. So there is some kind of logic behind it, and I don't have to delete it then later. So for doing the HTTP requests, I need to first install the package for Web API activities. So for official libraries, official packages, you search for something like Web API. Okay, there you go. And these are also useful for later because we will be using JSON deserialize activity. So you can see there is like the REST API calls and other activities, blah, 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 okay. And I will install this one. Without these ones, we cannot perform the HTTP requests. It's not there from default. So let's wait a few seconds, and then I will show you only one activity to demonstrate how this works. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat and I will get back to them later. Okay, good. Finally, this works. So no stage fright because everything is working smooth so far. And I want this activity I worked recently with, HTTP request. So I put it in and I will close this wizard for now, and I will only set it up using the properties. So first of all, there are many things you can set up, many things that are used. For example, if you have some secure connection and so on, is really this one activity is really powerful. We will only set up 3 things. So first of all, I will change method. Method is actually post because I'm not retrieving any data, I'm just posting them. And then another activity, another what I want is to set endpoint. I need to search where this endpoint over there. Okay, just and here I need to post the URL from the webhook. So I'll just click copy. Okay, copy, and in brackets paste it here. This should be fine. And the last thing is the text that I want to send here. When I look at the example here, I see that I need to use JSON formatting. So it should be working like this. Where's body? Body, sorry. I'll put this JSON format thing. So because it's in double quotes, I will put them in single quotes. It should be fine. So on the left side, text. On the right side, some message from an app. Robot. Hi, here is robot. Okay, so let's try this out. I will run the file and let's see if this will go through. Few mystery seconds. Okay, cool. Something's happening. I can check it in my Slack in general channel. There is Jamesbot app texting some message from an app. Hi, here is a robot. So that was really fast and really easy. One activity, and you can include it to your projects, to your processes, and have a report from your robot every time, I don't know, something goes wrong, or every time the process is finished, every time there is a new, new item in a queue, every time there is something that you would love to know about. So bye-bye old school email. Yeah, 2 weeks ago I was demonstrating how to communicate with a robot using email. This is actually much more cool. So this was an easy introduction, how to use webhooks, and we will go on to make it a bit more complicated. Okay, there it is. So I'll go back to the main project where I will be working on the main project of today. And what we will do is to set up scopes for the robot, where in future through UiPath we will connect to this app that we created before, and we can retrieve the data. There was a nice picture in the UiPath official documentation, this one, which is actually quite self-explanatory. It gives you some steps that we will do now, one by one. And there is also a picture how this actually works. Okay, there was a picture. I lost it. Never mind. There's a lot of in this documentation, but however, UiPath is not really good in keeping up to date all of these, let's say, not so often used activity packages. So some things were not really as in the documentation. Some things you don't have to do. So watch carefully, and I will show you how to do things. I will go back to this Slack API website, and I will go to out and permissions. Okay, please don't make me spell it again. And this is an important part. We will be using this token later. And let's explore what we have here. So there are some redirect URLs. This is for authorizations. We will skip this one, and this is important, scopes. So let's explore. There are two scopes: bot token scopes and user token scopes. And you see there is already some scope defined, and this was created when we defined the webhook, automatically somehow connected with that. We'll skip this one. And for user token scopes, we need to define all the scopes where we will allow the robot to work. Yeah, to give the robot a space. And when you look at the documentation here, here you can see there is described what scope you have to use for each what activity. And as you can see, there are a lot of them to actually make it working. So I thought I will make it easier this time, and I created a small robot that should help me to fill all the scopes in. So let's hope this will work. I tested it a few times today. So there is another file that I created before, add scopes. And I have a variable scopes where in the default value there are all the scopes and their names. So hopefully if I will run it, it will work and add all the scopes I need. For you, soon after I will publish the video, I will put this code in the first link in the description. So let's run it and see if this is actually working. My hands off the keyboard and let's see. You know when you're showing something and it usually doesn't work, the Murphy law. Okay, seems like this works just fine. There are about 20 scopes that you have to add. So to do it again and again manually, why to do it twice if I can automate it, right? So easy as that. This is how I work. How do you work? So we need to define these scopes that to give actually the app the permissions on different data from the Slack, and then UiPath connects through this app and connects through the user that owns the app. It's a little bit strange behavior, but it works like that. So my robot is done. Okay, cool. And now it gives me a big sign that I have to reinstall the app for this change to take an effect. So I'll click this. Blah, 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 something, something. And I need to put some channel over there, whatever. And this is fine. Another pop-up that everything is fine. And now let's start to do some UiPath. So in main, I need to start to use Slack activities. I don't have them yet, so I need to install the package again. So I type in Slack and local of official, it's already official, and install and save. So let's experiment, let's connect it, and let's do a robot. In this package, there are many activities that most of them are pretty understandable what they do from their name. You can also take a look in the documentation, which is quite fine. So this is done, and here in integrations, I can see new folder Slack with some activities like this. I will roll it out, which are pretty self-description. These activities look a little bit strange in Studio, and you will see it soon. Anyways, to work with Slack activities, we need a Slack scope, like for many activities. And there is a big button that just click it, configure. And here I need to configure the connection. So what I want to use is to use actually API token. And where I find API token? Here. So this is it, user authentication token. Okay, and I have to tell you, I'm not really sure how this works. I read in the documentation that robot connection is a connection when you are using unattended automation. So I suppose that when this robot is running unattended, it will take this this token. Yeah, you can put API token, and when you're running it on a test machine or your machine, it will use this token, which is neat. But eventually, I did not test it, so I'm not sure. And there is also like bot user authentication token over there, but this is for something else. Okay, or maybe this is for this one. I don't know. Test it and let me know. So connection successful. You probably saw that the one on the right side had to be put in brackets. That's UiPath, you know. Not surprised. Some things are a little bit funky. Select scope is fine. It doesn't show any errors. So let's try first activity. And my first activity I want to try is get messages. So let's get messages. And these activities look really odd because most of the property settings you do does not happen on the right side in properties, but it happens somehow in the activity itself, which is, yeah, kind of odd. It looks like from the Studio X. Anyways, it works quite fine. So I want to get messages from channel, but also you can choose from direct message, group message, whatever you want. And the cool thing is that if I click find and find, it will give me all the channel IDs and names. So let's say there is a channel we can retrieve some message from. Okay, general maybe, or where I was. Okay, I tried something before in the channel that is called random. Okay, so let's try the channel random. Done. And there are some kind of settings, and here I will create a new variable that will be called get messages, like the activity. Okay, get messages. So now the get messages variable has a data type UiPath.Slack.model.message. This is important because I want to use for each activity to loop through them. So let's do it. For each, keep it item get messages. I need to set the type argument as UiPath Slack model message, but not array. UiPath Slack model message. Okay, easy as that. So each message, if you go and use WriteLine, for example, to retrieve the information, have some kind of attributes. So here you can see that there are pieces of data from the message that we can actually retrieve. So for example, text, okay, item.text, which we can try. So let's run it and see if we actually get the text of each message from the channel. Okay, cool. Okay, these are the messages so far. This is where I tested yesterday, the bot we will do today. So this works. What you can see is that when there is somebody and has joined the channel, there is always some kind of strange set of letters and numbers and characters. So this is how Slack interprets users. So each user has a secret number, and you can change your name and it doesn't matter, which is cool because we will use it. So I prepared this channel weather. Okay, weather. There is something happened here, whatever, doesn't matter. And I want to take the messages from the channel weather, and I want that I want to know. Yeah, let's try it. Okay, weather. Oh, sorry, channel find weather. Done. And try it once again, and we should get some information images, messages. What is important to know is when you take a look at the order of the order of it, then maybe it's not really clear, but the first retrieved message is always the last. This is the logic of Slack, how the messages go. So first is always the last, this one, and then this one, and then this one. So bottom up. And this is really cool because we will do a robot. We will create a robot, and every time I will myself from this app, I will type a name of a city as I don't know, Dublin or Berlin. The robot will give me back the temperature or the weather state in this city. So to do it, I want to check every time if the last message is from the robot itself or from somebody else. So let's do it. I don't need this for each anymore. Sorry, for each. And in Slack scope, in this big, and we will have a lot of stacked activities this time again, I want to put an if condition. So I want to check whether the last message is somebody else than the robot. If somebody new actually posts the message, not the robot. And when I say the robot, this will be the user, the owner of the application this time. So if last message is from our bot user, but how we know it? How do we know it? We need to know what is this user ID? What is this strange number? So how can we find out? Well, eventually I can type something as the user in the weather channel. Okay, this is it, the James bot. So hi, I'm James bot. Okay, cool. And then okay, I will disable this for these purposes. And using just a simple write line, get messages 0, so the first message dot name, no, sorry, dot user. This is what we need to check. Voila, things are happening. Okay, good. So this, if I'm correct, should be the user. Maybe just double check it. I will add the get message dot 0 dot text. Okay, typo. Good. There you go. Just to check this is really the message we are looking for, and maybe toString. No, something's wrong. Get messages. Okay, Roman. Concentrate. Well, once again, just to double check that it's hi, I'm James Bot. That's the message, and the message says, yeah, good. So I'll copy this and enable these activities. Okay. Good. So if this is the last message is from our bot user, so if the get messages 0 dot user is this one. Okay. Then nothing will happen. It will just simply let's put there some delay, so it's not happening so fast. So let's put 5 seconds delay over there. Okay, delay 5 seconds. And if there is a new message from somebody else, then all the funny thing will start. So first of all, we will assign a city name. I want to create a new variable called city name, and get this get messages 0 dot text, and this we will supposed to be the city name. Okay, this is easy as that. So now how to get the weather? We will use HTTP request, and I have here API from the website openweathermap.org. This is the result. If you put it, you need to actually sign up for getting the app ID, but it's no problem. So this is how it works. I'll copy this. I put it here in endpoint. Okay. HTTP, good. And actually here I will leave Prague. And if I click preview, it should, okay, no, something's wrong. Okay, he's not happy with something. Not sure what. Preview URL. API. Maybe he don't like the brackets. Not sure. Okay. You never know if you have to use the brackets or not. So this works. Okay, I click OK, and this does the setup for the activity for me. Only what I want to do is to store the result and to also put in the endpoint URL the city name. So I delete Prague, put brackets, ++, and city name. City name should be a string. Yes, good. And save the result. Where is this result? Over there. So let's call it request result. Good. Should appear here. Request result is a string that will look like this. Well, it will not look like this because it will look like this. And to create a JSON from it, we need to use another activity. And the activity is called dSerialize JSON, which takes as an input request result and as an output a JSON object. So let's call it JSON result. So now when we have a structured data from the result, then I can actually work with it. First of all, I want to check if the result is 200. So because this is what you want. This is the last COD gives me result if this is fine. Because if I will use some kind of random city that does not exist, I'll get a number 404. So what I want to do is to check this part COD. So I put if again, and see this is getting a little bit funny over there. And the condition, or if result is 200, let's give it names. So if JSON result, and now I use COD like this, .toString is 200. So if everything is fine, then we will work on the next side. And if not, I will start with if not, then because this will be faster. This will be just one activity. Then I want to send back a message that something is wrong. So I use send message activity from the Slack ones, and I want to send it in channel weather. And here is the text. So no city called, and now the city name. Good, easy as that. And in case we have, I will put a sequence here. In case the result is okay, we can extract something from it. So for extracting the pieces, so what I'm interested if I want to know the weather. So for example, this and this, that it's clear sky, then the temperature, and I will probably extract also the name or the country, name and the country, because there are some cities in different countries. I will show you how to work with that, but just to be sure that that's the city you actually want in the country you want, then I will extract this also. So I will use funny activity that it's called multiple assign, which is super cool if you have more variables to assign values to them. So let's create it. So this will be maybe just like a location, temperature, and description. So that's like it's cloudy, clear sky, and so on. And now I need to take a look in the structure here. So if I want to get location, then I need to use name and epsilon and country. So first, let me open this. JSON result, name, that's the name of the city, and then country. Let's take a look. Sys country. So I need to use this way of working. Hopefully this will work. To string. Yeah, so this should give me a name of the place, or the city, and country where it is. Then the temperature. Temperature is a little bit, is also simple. It's main and temp. JSON result, main, temp. Let's keep it all in strings for simplicity, and we don't need to do any manipulation with it. And description, for description, I will use weather, 0, and main and description. Okay, there are also some icons and so on, but I don't want to mess with that. So main, no, sorry, weather. Now 0 as an integer, and main, now here's the main. And a comma, and the same thing. Once again, I will copy it because I'm lazy, but instead of main, it'll be description. Okay, if I did not do any typo in this should work. So we have location, temperature, description. Okay, lovely. So now when I have the data, I can assign it to one new activity. I will put assign here, so it's a little bit final weather distinguished, and I will call it weather. So this will be the weather forecast, and I want to just connect it. So this is just connections of strings. So let's say weather at and location, so that it's nice and neat, and easy to read, so you have a feeling like you speak with some colleagues actually, is, and now description, temperature is, now temperature, and because I set metric, now it should be degrees Celsius, dot. So now I have the message, the outcome, and the last thing I want to do is the same as here, set message, so I'll copy it, reuse it, kind of. I want to just put a reply, weather. Okay, that was a lot of work, and now as usual, I will run it, and you will see if it works or not. I will show you in larger scope what I did. And please, if there will be any errors, forgive me. But last but not least, this will work only once. It will get messages. If there is any message, it will reply. So what I want to actually do is to make it running in loops. So again, like recently, I need to do brutal thing. I will take an activity called while, put it just in the beginning, delete the body, I don't need it, type true to create an infinite loop, yeah, unless till the time I will kill the bot. I cut all this Slack scope, paste it here, easy as that. See how it's easy actually. I will save it for sake of all is working. And hi, I'm James Bot. Okay, and run it, and let's see if it works. Okay, hold all the thumbs. This was quite complicated thing. So now the robot should run. It's running. It's doing something. And if everything is correct, and I hope it is, then when I type anything here, it will reply with the weather forecast. So let's say how it's in Dubai. Oh, that was a long waiting. So you see it works. Weather Dubai, Arabian Emirates is clear, clear sky, 35 degrees. Oh, lovely. So let's try something more. So my favorite cold city, Yakutsk in Russia, should be minus, hopefully. I mean, it's summer. Okay, okay, it's actually quite warm. Usually winter here is like minus 40, minus 50. Lovely. Never been there. So let's try something like Dublin. I found out there are things that do not work as you would expect. So if you type Dublin, you actually find that this is not a Dublin in Ireland, it's Dublin in United States. So I found a way how to command it in a way, if you're looking for Dublin in Ireland, you type Ireland, comma, or Dublin. And this, in a magic how it works, that's the API thing behind, will give you the the weather in Ireland actually. Okay, anyways, this is a funny way how to work with this. And let's try also some unknown city, if this is working. No city call. Okay, lovely. So as long as the robot is running and it can run all the day, you can create a simple interaction with the messages, with your bot, with the Mr. James bot, in this way. And it was pretty simple. Eventually, just a couple of activities, and most of them were just to retrieve the weather, and I was playing, so it's nice and neat. But the activities for Slack are pretty simple. I will stop the robot. Thank you, robot, Mr. James robot. And you can see all the activities on the left side. So this is all you can play with. Create a channel, invite somebody to channel, join it. There are some download file activities, and also you can work with the messages, with the replies, and so on. And also update status, which is super lovely. Imagine a robot that will update your status. So if you want to have a robot that actually replies on your behalf, you can go when you're logged in Slack, and you can go to these Slack API, api.slack.com/apps, and create new app. Of course, if you are not the owner of the workplace, then somebody will have to say, to confirm, to allow you to do that. But then you can work like this. So this was pretty much all I wanted to show you. So we saw two ways how to communicate with Slack. First was sending webhooks, which I demonstrated, and it looks like this, JamesBot app. So this is a webhook to channel, but sent on behalf of an app. And I show you how to communicate through UiPath using some user as a robot user. And now it's time for my orange slide. Questions, please, and I will take a look if there are any. So Johannes has a point that it's pretty cool to use this as an internal AI robot to do all kind of things. So for example, if you need a PO or you have some questions to HR, yes, I mean, eventually possibilities are endless. Slack itself has also some kind of integration, and you will definitely find a lot of ways and documentation about how to do a real chatbot connected to Slack. There, most of the major chatbot engines like Azure or IBM Watson have already integration. As you can see, it's pretty simple. It's just sending some HTTP requests there and back, like most of the thing. Pretty DevOps thing. And so, yes, I just wanted to show you how to do it, and there are many ways how to do them. So if you have any interesting use case and anything you will solve, then it would be cool. But I don't see more questions there. So that's cool. So I hope you liked it. I will maybe talk a little bit more. So if you'll have some more questions, you can still ask them. So thank you for watching. Thank you for taking part in this. And as in the last minutes, I want to just tell you that you can download the workflow, not yet, but in close future, from the first link. The first link also leads to our community forum, where you are invited to take part. I publish information about new RPA Fridays there. Also, every week there is a RPA challenge, which you can take part in, and you can compete with other enthusiasts and learn something new. Because me, Roman, from Robot ICT, I'm trying to check all the new activities and all the new updates from UiPath and other providers and all the tech, and try to bring some interesting content right to you. So thank you for watching. Please, you can subscribe to our Robot ICT channel. You can also sign up to get RPA Fridays ahead. You can sign up and get information what will be the next session. It's always Friday, 4 o'clock Central European time. And you can join our Facebook and LinkedIn group. If you have anything else, you can of course type in comments and I will answer you later, or you can send us a message or something. Good, so thank you for watching. Have a wonderful weekend and have a wonderful robot. And I hope once a robot will work for you and you don't have to work at all. So bye and happy automation. Ciao.